Atlanta United Fan TV, 2-0, finally get on the board in the MLS season. It's 3 points, and it's happy days, I guess, right?
It feels so good. I mean, the thing is, there's so much that we can improve upon, but in a positive way. There's finally a result for fans to grab and hold on to and say, we've won a game, it's in MLS, and it was convincing. I mean, yes, New England had some chances, but at the end of the day, Atlanta United were this team that deserved to win that game. We could have scored more, but we got the job done, and it was a clean sheet on the road. Massive 3 points, massive result. Finally a performance we can be proud of.
Right. And it's something, I mean, is it a toothless New England attack as well, or is it something that we held them to that?
Well, I don't think New England are very good. For what it's worth, I think when we saw the lineup, I was very worried that we were going to play a bit defensively, but I think at the end of the day, we came out and did the job that needed to be done. Yeah. You can't be too aggressive on the road, especially when you haven't won a game. Yeah. You don't have that confidence yet. Yeah. But New England had a few chances, don't get me wrong. They had one goal rolled off for offside. Guzan probably should have saved it anyway. But then again, Atlanta United had so many chances where they could have absolutely had that game dead and buried. It could have been 4, 5, 6. I mean, Tito had a chance. Joseph had a handful of chances. Yep. But I think to talk about this match, the only thing you can really say about this with definitive anything was this was the best match Ezekiel Barco has played for Atlanta United since he's joined.
Absolutely.
He was absolutely incredible. When he came onto the pitch, he changed the game. Right. And that's why we paid $15 million for him to begin with. Right. That was the player that Atlanta United wanted to sign. Yeah. And to see him play that way and to dominate the game tonight was incredible and a very, very positive sign going forward for Atlanta United.
Right. Now, it's interesting that he didn't start the match to begin with, and that's really, I think, a lot of people's question is because you saw how quickly he changed the match when he came on. Now, what do you think his thinking was with the starting 11?
I don't know. I didn't really understand the 11 when I saw it. For as much as I love Michael Parkhurst, I don't think he's a fullback. I think it worked out today because New England aren't very good, but there were times when they kind of exposed us for pace at the back. Breck Shea got exposed a couple of times as well. I don't know how wise it is to play with two fullbacks who have no pace whatsoever. That's a bit dangerous, and against teams that are quicker and more clinical, you will get punished for that. But Ezekiel Barco did the one thing that a player can do, and that's come on, perform well, and show the manager he was wrong. And I think Ezekiel Barco will be starting against FC Dallas, and hopefully he can build off this performance, and the team can build off this performance, and continue to perform well and pick up the points that we know that they can.
Right. Now, the ref, very interesting non-calls in this match. I think I count at least very orangey cards that were probably actually one of them wasn't even a card. Yeah, perplexing, I think, from the ref today.
At this point, does it shock you, though? I mean, to be perfectly honest, at this point with the standard of officiating in MLS or in the world, VAR or not, you're going to have issues with this. And I think it comes down to training and it comes down to pay. MLS doesn't pay these guys enough. MLS doesn't train these guys enough. How can we expect them to have incredible performance as officials if they're not put in positions to succeed? At the end of the day, are there officials who are experienced in the report? Yes, I fault them for that. But there's so many young officials who aren't experienced enough, who are being put into these situations, who aren't trained well enough, and who aren't paid enough to make it worth their time to begin with. How are you going to get people who want to officiate if there's no, what's the bonus for them to get booed and hated and not get paid enough? That's not worth it to them. So was the official poor? Absolutely. But I'm not even going to worry about that because at the end of the day, 2-0 clean sheet, Atlanta United got 3 points. We got a win on the board. Now let's move on. Let's kick on. Let's get a win against Dallas and build off that. Let's get a win against Colorado and make a charge and put ourselves at the top of the table where we know we belong.
Yeah. In terms of any sort of the Boer out people, I mean, this obviously quells them a little bit, but, you know, was there any sort of, you know, ammo in their arsenal tonight?
I don't think so. I mean, at this point, if you're looking for a Frank de Boer out, if you're trying to find reasons to fire a man when he wins the game and gets a clean sheet on the road at a place you didn't win in your 2 chances under your predecessor with the Miguel Almiron on the side, I don't know what you can do to be pleased because...
Albeit in one of those matches.
Yeah, albeit in one of those matches. I don't know what you can want. If you're still mad when your team wins and gets 3 points and keeps a clean sheet on the road, then there's really no pleasing those people, is there? This was a good point to build on. And we talked about in the podcast on the build-up how important it was to get a result tonight. You had to come out with 2 weeks to prepare, show tactics, show an improvement. The beginning wasn't great, but there were chances created. Joseph missed a few himself. Right. I mean, the one goal probably would have been ruled offside, but he missed a chance that I think all of us left us scratching our heads. And it happened a couple of times throughout the game. So
that's going to happen with strikers.
But it's going to happen. So if there's a negative, that might be one you point to, but there were still chances at the beginning. Barco comes on, changes the game, gets you 2 goals. There's not much you can complain about. Did we miss chances? Yes. But we've lost every game in the league on the road before this, and we've turned 2 2-0 results where we've lost into a 2-0 result that we won. You have to take the positives. It's a result. Now you build upon it. Can you build upon it? That's the important thing. If you can turn this into 3 points against Dallas and 3 points against Colorado at home, now you're building. Now you're heading in the right direction. And that's the important thing. Frank DeBoer, this has got to be a massive relief for him as well. It's his first win in a very, very long time.
2016 of October.
Almost 2.5 years. It's a very long time. So for him to be able to get that result, put it on the board and say, I've won a game in the league, now we can move forward. Now we have that monkey off our back. And I think the team can really move forward from here and kick on and really start doing what we know that Atlanta United can do.
Yeah. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.